MB tự hào trên con đường xây dựng mô hình tập đoàn tài chính đa năng với sứ mệnh trở thành ngân hàng thuận tiện nhất. Chúng tôi luôn luôn không ngừng học hỏi, sáng tạo và đổi mới để mang lại những lợi ích cho khách hàng vì một Việt Nam phồn vinh. MB tin rằng hành trình hạnh phúc bắt đầu từ sự thấu hiểu những điều nhỏ bé nhất trong cuộc sống thường nhật và tận tâm mỗi ngày mang đến những tiện ích để bạn có thêm nhiều thời gian chất lượng với những người thân yêu. Bởi khi thấu hiểu, chúng ta cảm thấy mọi điều nhỏ bé mà ta tích lũy hôm nay sẽ gieo mầm và nuôi dưỡng hy vọng cho tương lai. Khi thấu hiểu, chúng ta sẵn sàng đồng hành, san sẻ những lo toan trong cuộc sống. Khi đã đồng hành, chúng ta sẵn sàng trao đi những điều tốt đẹp nhất, giúp bạn chạm đến những ước mơ nhỏ bé và vun đắp, tích lũy cho tương lai hạnh phúc. Hạnh phúc không chỉ là khi ta nhận được, mà còn cả những lúc trao đi những điều tốt đẹp. Và chở che, bảo vệ những người ta thương yêu. Hạnh phúc không chỉ là khi đạt được mục tiêu trong cuộc sống, khi chia sẻ niềm vui với người thân. Hạnh phúc còn là khi ta kết nối và chia sẻ thành công với những người xung quanh. Là ngân hàng thông minh, MB không chỉ mang lại cuộc sống hạnh phúc, thuận tiện cho bạn, mà còn đồng hành và trao cho doanh nghiệp của bạn những giải pháp sáng tạo, an toàn, mọi lúc, mọi nơi. Là doanh nghiệp số, chúng tôi giúp bạn kết nối với đúng người, đúng nguồn lực để biến cơ hội thành hiện thực nhanh chóng. Là ngân hàng chuyên nghiệp, chúng tôi mang lại cho bạn những chỉ dẫn và công cụ đáng tin cậy, giúp bạn và những người đồng hành tự tin vững tâm tới đích. MB tin rằng một tương lai hạnh phúc nhất chính là khi chúng ta cảm thấy mình thật giàu có trong những trải nghiệm, giàu có trong những điều cho đi, giàu có trong những điều nhận lại và thật giàu có trong những khoảng thời gian cho riêng mình để thấy cuộc sống thêm ý nghĩa. Bằng chuỗi tiện ích được tích hợp trong một hệ sinh thái số, MB tự hào là ngân hàng thuận tiện nhất cho bạn, gia đình, bạn bè và đối tác của bạn. Đơn giản và thuận tiện nhờ đổi mới công nghệ, chỉ dẫn tin cậy giúp bạn làm chủ tương lai vững bền, kết nối bạn với những cơ hội tốt hơn. App MBBank, ngân hàng số 1 Việt Nam. Biz MBBank, kết nối doanh nghiệp, chăm lo cho thành công và hạnh phúc của bạn.
Ladies and gentlemen, the meeting shall begin in a few minutes. Our seminar is being broadcast online through Microsoft Teams live events. Please bear in mind that we will turn off your microphone during the meeting for you to listen to it without any interruptions. If you have any questions, please leave your comments on the chat box. We are very looking forward to your opinions and contributions. Now, Mr. Lưu Trung Thái, Vice Chairman of the Board and CEO, will lead the meeting. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to present with you as the investors, customer, and even the social responsibility for our first half of this year. The presentation will be will have two parts. The first part is presented by Mr. Đức from strategic team in order to update to you the performance, the key performance of MB and MB Group is the first half of this year. And the second half of discussion will be covered by me, and we are looking to hear from all of you the question, everything about MB, and we are hoping to hear from you. What are you interested in? What are you concerned about MB? And we try to present and also to give you as detailed as possible on your concern about or your interested about MB. Thank you for give us the time to tell you about the MB. Now we can start by presentation of Mr. Đức. Đức, please.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman and CEO of MB Group. On behalf of the team, I would like to give presentation to overview, and after our presentation, we hope that you can answer 5 questions. Firstly, what is the competitive advantage of MB? How MB different with other banks? And how MB performed in the first half of 2001? What is the key achievement in the first half? And the key action which MB Group have taken in the first half to achieve that result. And the next section would be what we are going to do in the second half, as well as how MB would look like in the next 5 years. Because we have both current shareholder and also new investor. So I would like to spend 3 minutes on this slide, because it is important to shape our characteristics as well as shape our competitive advantage. We look at the shareholder structure. We have Viettel is our largest shareholder and the largest telco in Vietnam, accounting for 18.5%. And then we have SCIC, Special Investment Arm of Vietnam Government. It's Work-Life Temasek of Singapore, accounting for 9.3%. And we have Saigon Newport, Vietnam Helicopter, and Vietcombank as our last shareholder. Foreign room is 23%, and it is always fully bought. And among foreign group, we have Dragon Capital is our last shareholder. So this shareholder structure help MB to have the characteristic of a state-owned bank which is very stable, but very dynamic and very innovative. To see how MB is stable, if you can analyze the financial result of MB for the past 10 years, very consistent and very strong growth, especially recently. And some example to show that MB is very dynamic, especially in the last 5 years. Right? If you look at how MB transformed themselves to make the image of MB younger. I just want to share 2 examples. The first is the beautiful number account, right? Or name the account as mobile phone number. That is example which show that MB is very smart and very innovative. And thanks to this, MB app ranked top 1 in terms of download in Apple Store in Vietnam in June and 21. And also, thanks to this, in 2021, we received well recognized by organizations from IDG, Visa, or Asian Banker, or Vietnam Financial Report. Vietnam Financial Report recognize MBs as top 5 most prestigious banks in Vietnam, and we receive favorable and stable rating by Fitch Rating and Moody. Fitch Rating rate MB at B+, and Moody rate MB at Ba3. That's the first one. And the second one, which also make MB different with other banks, is we have the group. Most of the banks have security firm, fund management, and special asset management. But in MB, we have consumer finance, and in consumer finance, we partner with Shinsei Bank. And currently, consumer finance is top 3 in terms of size and profitability. In first half, consumer finance company achieved revenue of more than 2,000 billion, and profit is 346, increase close to 200% comparing with last year. And we have life insurance. Life insurance, we partner with Muang Thai Life and Asia Life, Belgium insurance giant. And in the first half, the revenues of MBA Life is 2,700 billion, increase 83% comparing with the same period. This MB have competitive advantage as a group, right? And it also means that MB can working well with partner from Shinsei Bank in Japan, or Muang Thai in Thailand, or Aegis in Belgium. We also have non-life insurance. In first half, revenue of non-life insurance is more than 2,000 billion. And profit is 145, increase 44% comparing with the same period. All the company have the profit close to 1,000 billion, contributing to 8,000 billion profit of the group. So two characteristics of MB is mixing plot of a stable, dynamic, stable state-owned bank, but very dynamic and innovative of a private bank, and have the synergies of the group. So now I would like to move to the result. In the first half, our total asset increased 6%, and we are more than 25, close to 25 billion US dollar in terms of assets, and our TOI of the group increased 40%, and profit increased 56%, and the subsidiary contribute close to 1,000 billion, and accounting for 13% of the group profit, and the ROE of the bank is close to 24, and ROA is 2.5%. But that is a result, but we would like to share deeper insight that, and we are happy to see the number of our customer increase very strongly and sustainable in the past several years, especially the last 1 year. Only 1 year we triple the numbers of customer in the digital channel. Now in the world of digital revolution, we think that the number of customers, the customer is important. And this customer also help us to achieve very good result in terms of financial. Right? So the CASA retail customer increased 1.6 times, comparing to 2020. And the CASA of retail is more than 43 trillion. So the net increase is 14 trillion, and contributing the profit from CASA only from this increase contribute to 15% of the retail revenue. And in the first half, revenue from retail banking reached 4.6 trillion BND, accounting for 36% of the total revenue. And as I have mentioned earlier, we are very successful in the beautiful number account or selected. It means that the customer can select the account which they like, or select the account number the same as their birthday or the same as their telephone number. This also contribute a lot in terms of CASA increasing, and also in terms of profit. We earn around 270 billion VND as fee income from these two programs. And thanks to this, the customer highly appreciates. We are well recognized by the customer in all channels, and the customer especially highly appreciate our digital channel. That is the result of the group. Now I would like to move to the bank. We see deeper inside the bank only. You can see very strong growth of loan. After second quarter, total loans of MB 344 trillion. And what is more interesting is you see individual loans strong increase from 52 trillion to 135 trillion. And this also contributes to our improving NIM, which you can see in the next slide. And our total deposit also increased at 18% on average for the past 5 years. And we double in terms of CASA, right? Why we maintain the percentage of CASA in our deposit structure, but the absolute number increase, we think that relative strong. We double the number. And what's more interesting is we see, the CASA come more from retail banking, especially digital banking, which means it's more stickier. So what I mean here is the quality of CASA is improved comparing with the past, and also the volume of CASA is also increased double in the last 5 years. And the TOI we grow at 27%. In the first half we achieved 15, the bank only achieved 15,000 billion. And NFI for the past 5 years we grow at the speed of 33% and profit grow at 31%. The bank only in the first half we achieved 7,000 billion. And NIM improved from 3.9 to 4.5. This is the result, the NIMs bank only. Of the group we have 5.3 because thanks to the contribution of consumer finance company. So we are happy to see this number because the size we grow at the speed of 18% loan and deposit, right? But we grow the revenue at 27% and NFI 33, profit 31. It means that we are driving the profit generating engine well, right? And also we manage the bank, manage the cost effectively to achieve. That is the reason why we have higher TOI, profit, and NFI grow almost double comparing with growing speed of size of loan and deposit. So if you want to look deeper in terms of TOI, we apply the logic tree so you can have a detailed look. Profit we increase 55% comparing with the same period. Revenue we increase 44%. OPEX lower. If you look like a picture, we are happy to see this picture, right? Because profit grows stronger than revenue, and revenue grows stronger than cost. If you look deeper in the cost, that is investment cost. It is for the future because we understand that the foundation factor, especially IT and other things, is important for the long run. We understand it like a backbone of a human being, and provision expand increase. We look deeper inside of this, so we would understand what it means, right? It's not because of the asset quality, but is because of the way of managing the enterprise to prepare for the future. We think that the risk representative and finance can respond to deeper question in this area. So comparing with other banks, we are among top five. Among top five, some ratio we are top one. For example, NPL coverage ratio, we are top one in terms of coverage ratio. That's a bank only, more than 300%. You look NPL, and some we are almost the same like Techcombank. We may rank the fourth, right? The same size in terms of loan like Techcombank. And TOI, we also have the same size as Techcombank. In fact, we are the same size. And profit, we have a higher profit, pre-provision profit. If you look at the profit of the bank and you see how much money the bank put aside to prepare for the future, you can have a fair evaluation of the bank performance in that period. So one of the questions which most of the investors always ask us is if we can continue to grow, if we can continue to improve our NIM, because that is important indicators of bank performance. So we would say that in the long run, we think that we can, and the momentum still exists and still very strong. Firstly, because we can continue to expand our retail mix. Individual loan increased 29%. The loan of the bank increased 18%, as I shown in the last slide. It means that retail banking always grow at stronger speed comparing with the bank loan. And we can continue to improve our CASA. And I have mentioned about the CASA quality, stickiness of CASA in our first slide, right? And we can continue to improve our NFI as well as productivity. You don't see we increase staff last year and the first half, but you see we can increase our loan deposit, DOI and PVT very strongly. It means that we are doing a good job in terms of improving our productivity. And we understand that we equip the bank staff with tools, right? We standardize, automate all the process, equip the frontline staff with iPad, with tools to help them to work smarter, and have the headquarters have the real enterprise. And in the bank, we can say that we are paper bank. All the documents is rotated in the system. We don't have to go to the CEO to submit the report. We can upload it in the system for the report. Thanks to that, it saves a lot of cost and also the resource of the bank. Regarding the channel, we don't open a lot of channel in the first half and also last year. We don't open the physical channel, to put it exactly. We think that channel is very important because we are doing services. We are doing retail. So we understand channel is important. But which kind of channel to invest in this context is more important. But we also have advantage comparing with other players in terms of physical channel because we have partnership with Viettel, with VNPost, and also with Mobile World, right? And their brand network is very large. I just put some number here so we can have a look. And one interesting point is the bank start to invest in smart bank. So we have 30 smart bank in the first half. So to wrap up this slide, the potential for the bank to expand NIM in the long run, we think the potential is still large. We continue to expand our retail loan book and also the consumer finance sector. And the channel is important, but which kind of channel? So I would like to share in the next slide. We have done a lot of things in the first half, and thanks to that, we have good result in the first half. So I would like to say only one point in terms of digital transformation. If you look at the app, we increased 87% number of app users. Currently, we have close to 9 million customers, and the number of app users is 5.6 million, increased very strongly comparing with the same period. And also, we have also bit user. Currently, we have 72,000 enterprise use our MBBank bit, an increase at 80%. The number of transactions increased almost close to 200%, right? From 46 million to 121 million transactions. And the volume of transactions increased 4 times comparing with the same, more than 4 times comparing with the same period, from 322 trillion to 1.7 thousand trillion at the speed of 424. And thanks to this, we are well recognized by the customer in the last 12 months. MB app ranked top 1 in terms of total download. Close to 7 million download, double than Vietcombank and 3 times higher than Techcombank. Some daily active user, we also 2.5 times higher than Techcombank, and even higher than Vietcombank, a very large bank. The session per user per day is 1.7 on a high group, right? And time per session, it means that the time which the customer spend when they use the app. On average, the customer spend 3.1 minutes when they open the app, and we are on the top high group. That is, in the first half, we have done a lot of things, right? From business, from improving our infrastructure, IT, digital banking, risk, and the result has also reflect some of our effort in the first half. Now, I would like to move to the last part. What we are going to do in the second half. In the second half, we are working with McKinsey to complete our strategy 2020 and 2016. And we target to achieve 22 million customers. And we want to become a digital enterprise. We continue with our 22 digital transform project. And we transform our branches in Cambodia. Strongly applies data analytics in business, in decision making of the bank. Regarding business, we will continue to grow our credit selectively. We're happy to say that the central bank just allow us to grow at 15% of credit, higher than the first time, 10.5%. And we focus on strategic business line and low risk loan. We speed up digital banking. And we target to achieve 5 million new app users and 100,000 new biz users by the year end, and increase productivity of all channels, especially digital channel, increase fee income, the numbers of product per customer, and promote cross-selling and of course upselling. Cross-selling and upselling is important when you have a large customer base. Regarding management, we continue to implement our digital transformation project, continue to improve our IT infrastructure, our system capacity. We're happy to say that currently our system is much more improved comparing with 5 years ago. We may rank the top in terms of IT infrastructure capacity, because the board of directors as well as CEO and BOM fully understand the importance of infrastructure, of IT. We cannot increase productivity without IT, without technology. It's like a backbone of human being. That's what we understand. And we would strictly control our credit quality, especially the customer which are affected by COVID. And we understand that we can say that we are successful in the north, and the south is important. So we want to attack this market, and we would increase our brand awareness and improve our business in the south. For the subsidiary, we target to achieve and bypass the business plan, and all the affiliates would have to check up what they have done, what are the success factor in the last 5 years, as well as weakness, and what characteristics, what competitive advantage they have to shape in the next 5 years to design, to develop their strategy. Some of the firms also hire consultants like BCG, working with M Credit and security firm to design the strategy for the subsidiary, for the firm and the bank, only design the strategy for the bank and for the group. This slide, after this slide, I would like to end our presentation. We are currently still working on this, but this is some very first thinking. If we look back, our assets grow 18% in the last 5 years. If we continue with this rate, even lower a bit, the asset would be 1,200 trillion next 5 years, and credit and deposit would close to 1,000 trillion BND. And if we achieve that result, if we can maintain that growing speed, we think we can. We think we can. But it depends on the context, depends on the market. But we think at the moment, our TOI would reach more than 100 billion. So it would be $5 billion in terms of total operating income. And the profit would triple this year, 45,000 billion. And the market cap in the last 5 years, we increased three times. So next 5 years, we don't know. This question, we think that you are investor, you can answer, the market can answer. We are the bankers, we don't know how to work with the bank. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Đức. I would like to ask 3 more key point in the presentation with Mr. Đức. Sorry, but because of my English is not, good enough in order to present with all of you everything. But actually, if you see on the performance of MB at the first half of the years, you can see that the significant number of new customers through digital channel. It's actually we had acquired, let's say, 2.5 million more new customers during first half of the years. And this is the biggest number of customers we have during 27 years operating. Why we can get this? Because we understand that in the new environment of banking, platform is the best for the bank to serve the customer in mass market. And we change both in technologies platform. We have invested, I think, big enough both in technologies and human resources. Now MB have, let's say, over 1,000 experienced staff working in IT, at IT, and also digital business. And we focusing on the customer experience, so that every day now 20,000 customers through MB as a main bank. So that's really very, very important to see the bank change during transformation. The second one that is, you can see that we have a very different business model in comparison with the other player in the market. You can see at the third presentation page of Mr. Đức, you can see that MB have a fully ecosystem in banking, and insurance, so that at the first half of the years, total revenue of the bank plus with the subsidiary is remarkable. We reached, let's say, close to $1 billion in revenue, and then we can have a step by step build a business model for a group, and we can provide for customer full package of service in finance, banking, services for customer, right? The third one is, you can see that it's first half of the year, the health of the bank is changing so fast. The health of the bank, you can see that besides of the number of customers is increasing very remarkably. You can see that our productivity per staff is rising over 20%. And we remain, the number of staff in the bank stable during 3 years. But the revenue and also the profit of the bank is still growing. And the other perspective of the health of the bank is improving, is come from the strategy, new strategy of the bank is updated every year. We learn so much from the partners like McKinsey, BCG, IBM. We work together with IBM in order to improve our IT system during 5 years. Now we can say that the IT and digital transformation of MB is designed very carefully and improved day by day. This is the key, I think the key, message from the presentation of Mr. Đức. So now I am receiving some question from you through SMS chat box of the team, Microsoft team. You can send this answer the question here, and we can cover and answer you more detail on what you are interested in, right? So we have some question from you, a lot of question. Your question is, the first question I want to share with you is about the CAPEX plan for IT and also the development of the South. So the CAPEX of IT now, this year, let's say 6 to 8% of total CAPEX is for IT. The second question is about the provision of the total of restructure loans. The value of the restructure loan of ME now is 2.7 billion. It is not so much in comparison with the same bank in the market, because we have to only recognize that who are the customer are impressed, are affected by COVID, so that we have some strategy in order to help them to recover soon. Now the provision is covering, let's say 70%, and we are planning to cover 100% this item during this year. So the question is, share the expectation of provision expand credit card for next half years. We are planning, that every year we are planning to control the provision expand is around 18% per revenue, but this year is a little bit high because of COVID. So that, as you see, that MB now is top one of bank to have a provision on loan is over 300%, over higher than Vietcombank and also Techcombank. So that this is the prudent policy of the bank for this year. So we are planning to keep, let's say, to make more to cover all the restructure loan for next year, for next half of the year, and remain around 200% of provision. It's high, but I think it depends on the revenues of the bank. It affected by COVID at next half of the year, next half, right? The next question is about what your expectation for the employee growing over 5 years. Yes, we are planning to have another grow of 5% employee every year, and expect to have a growing of the revenue around from 25% every year, so that growing employee focusing to serve in IT system, IT technologies, and also digital and digital marketing is my priority for the next 5 years. One of the very challenging, question is about the cost of fund and CASA of the bank. So now we are targeting to have a CASA at the end of this year around 37 to 38%. And the challenge, goal is to reach 40%. As you see that the CASA of the MBBank is a very high priority in order to have lower cost of fund. But in my mind, I think the customers, even mass market or priority segmentation, also private segment, is more smart because it just you can keep the high CASA because of your platform and also the payment system is very smoothly, and customer can control, the private individual financial plan of each of them, so that when you can provide very easy product in order to make your investment portfolios of each individual investor and more easy. I think the CASAs will be step by step, stable. 40% I think is high, is the long term, but in the short term, I think it's okay for the bank. So we can get lower cost of fund, but I think a little bit, not so much. Right? The next question is about the sale price and agent. So you know that some bank now is planning to expand, the agent network through the partner. It depends depend a lot on the strategy of ecosystem and also your IT, your technologies. Because it's not easy to expand this kind of services. If your partner is not ready or don't have a culture to collaborate with the partner, so we are having some opportunity to work with Viettel. As you know that every Viettel shop now you can make banking services by MB. You can see and experience through the shop of Viettel. And we are planning to expand this agent and provide some very simple and easy banking services through the network of Vietnam Post. We signed the contract already, and now on the way to improve the system between the two sides. And we all the way already to launch with this is the world cooperation. So that we hope that this agent model can provide for nationwide and big number of customers the very easy and also simple services for customer. Pro and con of this channel, I think, is a lot, but let's say this is very traditional channel. But when you can add with the advantage of technology, you can see the power of traditional channel, because you can provide very quick, and you can scan up your number of transactions to this channel. Next question is about the why level 5. What can you can say? Sorry. Group 5 of the loan is deeply strongly disagree in the second quarter. You know that we spend in the first half of this year, our recovering of the bad rate of bad loan is strong. It's strong. So that we cover a lot, over 1,000 billion. So that the group 5 of the loan is down. You see, this is the reason why. The question is about our new building in Hanoi. So that the investor in new head office in Hanoi, let's say, we are invested 1.9 thousand billion. So that if you see that. If you see and if you have the number of some building with the total square meter is around 60,000 square meters in Hanoi, is reasonable. It's very reasonable now, and at 5-star, right? At 5-star standard, a very hard, question is to say the way to handle your best, our best. The bad debt is very hard, right? Very hard to control the bad debt. But in the bank, that is a lot of solution is applying now. The first one is we organize, the bank in order to serve 3 segmentation, as you know that. CIB and SME also individual. So we are the bank now, we own, let's say 14 score system. And we are applying in the 3 segment very detailed, very carefully and prudently. Because we understand that the decision making in loan applying is very important, so that it not depend on just experience of some people. So that we use data and scoring system in order to improve our decision making process. The first one is. The second, solution is come from the organization structure. We are, some bank is a market to organize, in differently parts of business. For example, in branches, we just focusing on the sales activities. So appraiser is centralized in the head office, and also the, let's say, thẩm định và phê duyệt đấy, thì được đều appraiser approval is centralized, and differently with the business unit, so that we can separate, and independent making decision during the loan providing. And we also organize, the recovering organization differently in order to make sure that all the process is independent, transparent in making decision, and give customer, the best experience during providing loan for every segmentation. This is the solution of the organization of the bank. And the other solution is also very important. We are, let's say, digitalization, and also working, let's say, we improve the process year by year in order to use some new, technologies and knowledge and models for each products, key product, and also the key segmentation in order to learn and improve our loans quality So that you can see that in every our segmentation, for example, CIB, our bad rate is lower than, is always remain at 0%. SME remain around 1%, and individuals remain under 1% every year. This is the reason. But I think this is still very, a challenge of MB and almost a bank when we growing outstanding every year, let's say 30 to 35%. Right. Thủy, can you add more? Thủy, he is director of the risk management division. He can add more for you about this question, this hard question for me, right?
I will answer about the NPL. With this cancer, the file classified reduced in the at the 2021. In last year, we have one customer operating at the real estate company, and in this year, we also recover most of this loan, outstanding loan of this customer. So the classified with the file is reduced, and we hope that, and normally we always use write-off. We also beside the write-off, we always reduce with the max outstanding write-off. It's on the half. It's this year we recovery the more than 1 trillion write-off and accounts for the more than 10% profit.
Thank you. The next question is have some group of the question is around the provision, and also the main sectors in the first half is renewable energy, auto loans, and also the retail loans. So that can I share with you about provision plan? The our plan for provision this year is changing from the first half of the year to second half of the year, because you see that how can you imagine the effect of the COVID and depending on the activities of the enterprise? I think all of you are fearing that the effect is stronger than our expectation. For example, now we are thinking about what different, just the enterprise and the people in the south of Vietnam are facing if COVID cannot control at this quarter. So that the growth of economies in this area will be affected so much. We have some experience during COVID of some city in the middle years of Vietnam last year, and they affect a lot. I believe a lot. I got it a lot in last year. And so that provision of the bank is the way you react with the situation. So I think for this year, balance between the provision and the profit is a strategy. Besides with reducing, costs, we at the first half of the year, we reduce, let's say, 5%, 5%, right? 5% in CIR of the bank. From, let's say, from 33% to 28%, a significant of saving costs. So that save costs, but you still can improve your requiring number of customers, improving your revenue, and keep provision in your pocket in order to waiting for the new opportunity for next year, because I believe that this year Vietnam can control the COVID, and next year is a very, very high opportunity for all the bank. This is the first, share with you about the provision. And because we are focusing on the three major segments in the first half of the year, but as you know that renewable energies is, it have a time, because that the policy of the Vietnam is just give some priority for the investor who can supply the energy at right time. So that the new policy for price is waiting for. So that I don't know exactly what is the price of the energy, new renewable energy for next period of year. But I think that we have discussing and we will studying carefully and waiting for new good news policy for investor. And I believe that this is still opportunity for banks in the market. Auto loans and also the retail loan, it's still high, because you see that the demand of the auto and also the mortgage, real estate housing is still high. It depends a little bit on the COVID and also the growing of income, individual income. But for next 10 years, we are planning to have a growing of the GDP around 6 to 7, even 8%. So that the forecast of me my forecast is still we can still get growing highly in this segment. Question at the first at the beginning of meeting is about our subsidiary. So you asked us about the profits targets of this year for MC, for MBOGS and MIC, MBCAP, so that we can say that I don't remember exactly the figure, but I try to remember MC this year is the goal for this year is 800,000, and the next year I think every year they have to increase around 30 to 40%. MBOGS this year we are targeting to have close to 300 billion, and next year I don't know exactly, but it depends on the growing revenue of the AGS, because as you know that AGS is now focusing to increase revenue, because when they can growing fast in revenue, they have to have bigger provision for August, so that August can be around 300 more. MIC this year, let's say, how many? Yeah, 360 billion. So that next year 30% more. MB cap, I think this year 80, next year around 100. I think it's not so much. But actually, for our subsidiary, this year we are planning to have 2.2 thousand billion in profit, and every year we are planning to have a growing around 30%. This is about the company, the subsidiary. A question is asking me about the negative change in client borrowing demand reasoning. Yes, I can say that. Now the demand is a little bit down, slow down, because at you know that because of the situation of COVID, you can see that individual investment demand is slowed down because of carefully, decision of everybody, inclusive you, right? I think just you can see that the demand just increased so much in stock investment, and growing a little bit, but time by time is about real estate. But what about the others? What about the others' demand for individuals? So that now I think is people are very carefully, considering why and what you are spending for. So that I think is the demand is step by step is a little bit down. So you can see that the demand is returned when the COVID is controlled. I believe that. So that it a little bit depend on the result of the COVID preventing campaign of the government. It depends on the COVID. I think so. So bank by bank, how can you grow your loan portfolio during last part of the year? It's not easy. The question is not easy. I remember that last year we have some opportunity to grow, and we got it. So that the bank now is considered between that the volume of outstanding grow and the NIM of the bank, because the demand just covered by very big customer, huge customer, corporate customer with the stable producers, and they require very low interest rate for each loan, right? So you asked me about about why the private bank still remaining the high growing rate of during the growing of the loan is around 5%. Some bank can grow 10% like MB. The answer is we focusing on some area. Just we can forecast that the effect of the producer of producing is a little bit lower. For example, electricity, or you can see that some industry look like textile and also good producers, furniture producers, or the healthcare is still growing. So that when you're focusing on some area of the economy is a little bit or slightly affected, you can grow, right? The question is about the Viettel, right? We are explaining about Viettel for the shareholder in first quarters when we presenting the capital's plan for MB, and we are planning to issue new share around 2% for Viettel, right? So your question here is what about the price of this deal, and why we have to issue more for Viettel, right? So as you know that you can see that our ecosystem and our number of customers is huge, right? And step by step increasingly, not depend only in Viettel, but the have from technologies, security, cyber of Viettel, and the Asian system from Viettel is big enough for MB and shareholder to consider why we have to issue more for Viettel. And we have a strategy in order to collaborate between the two groups to leverage from the data of customer. Viettel have, let's say, 50 million subscribers over the countries, and the other 10 country more. This is very important for MB, so that consider between the revenue now they bring to MB, and also the how long we keep the relation between the strategic partner as Viettel with MB, so that our shareholders meeting is decided to issue more 2% for Viettel. This is the reason why. And for the price, let's say we agree at the shareholder meeting that we will consider over the book value of the bank at the time we issue the new share for Viettel, so that we will discuss. But I don't know exactly the price for Viettel, how much, but at least we have to sell to them at the book price, right? 10% is not so much. Yeah, around 700 billion in book value, in par value, right? Có một câu hỏi bằng tiếng Việt, sorry. The question it come from digital business of MB. So that the question is about the volume and also the revenue of the digital of MB. Today, up to now, let's say 95% of of the transaction number is executed by digital channel. At the first half of the years, we get 120 million transaction, and the revenue through this digital channel of MB is 1.5 trillion, and is increased, let's say 400% compared with the end of last year. This is, I think, is good, very good increasing. And let's say 70% of our, our deposits transaction day by day is executes in the digital channel. So that the cumulate, deposits is step by step stable by digital, and we can reduce, the cost for this transaction humanly. Yeah, just see. At my suggestion at the first half of the discussion, every day is 20,000 customers through MB, because of the experience of customer through app MB and also the Visa MB to our platform. The last question I just received is sharing the detail current cash lending, home appliance lending, and car lending in MC and NPL and LIM. I don't know exactly. Maybe Madam Hằng can share with you, right? Hằng, Vietnamese, you can.
Em xin thông tin như sau ạ, tức là dư nợ của em credit hết trong 6 tháng đầu năm ạ, thì đang tăng trưởng khoảng 5,5%. Trong đó thì các cái cấu phần về trả góp thì đang chiếm khoảng hơn 35%. Tiền mặt thì dưới khoảng hơn 50% và còn lại là các cái hoạt động về dư nợ về thẻ. Hiện nay về NPL của em credit trong 6 tháng đầu năm thì đang xoay quanh mức 6,5%. Về lợi nhuận thì anh Thái có trao đổi rồi ạ, tức là hết 6 tháng đầu năm thì lợi nhuận của em credit đang hơn là xấp xỉ khoảng 350 tỷ ạ. Thì đấy là những cái nét sơ bộ về kết quả 6 tháng đầu năm của em credit ạ.
Thank you. The last question is, I try to answer, right? I try to understand the question. It's about the contingent liabilities growing 60%. Contingent liability is include, LC, right? And also the guarantees of the bank. This is the two kinds of services we are trying to improve. And the number of the growing is includes LC and also guarantee. It's good for bank in order to have more free income, and we are controlling the quality of this kind of liabilities carefully now, so that I think this is a good question, and this is why we improve this one. The last question, the loan book for renewable energies is around 8%, and we just invested on the project can complete at the same time, on time, to map with the policy of the government. Please share. The next question is sharing the basic point will be discrete. Our estimated projection is to reduce, let's say, 0.3% of the COVID restructure. Reduce, because the State Bank of Vietnam, as you know that, they require own the bank in the market to reduce at least 1% of interest rate for customer, so that for half of the years, and we are splitted, we are splitting what kind of customer should be supported, and we are projecting to reduce, let's say, 1.3% in basic points, right? So that not at all, but almost of your question is answered by our team. If you don't have any more question, I would like to give to give you some conclusion for this year of MB and our planning in the next 5 years of strategy. So for this year, I think new question, right? But about this year, and we believe that we can remain the revenue of the bank and also the subsidiary to reach at 45,000 billion Vietnamese dong. That means around 2 billion US dollars this year. Because even of COVID and casting issues for customer, we still remain, year by year from half, first half of the year compared with the last half of the years, we always grow at, let's say, 15%. 15%, so that even we are facing with COVID and cutting interest rate, we believe that we can reach the targets of revenue. For the profit, because of COVID and with our very prudent policy on provision, we are aiming to have at least 15,000 billion this year. It means that at the first half of the year we got 8,000 billion. So we have another 7,000 billion for last half of the year. It's not too much critical. Yeah. Just see the second one about the profit. And for next 5 years, what we are hoping and preparing for next 5 years, we are planning to have a new strategy at this quarter. Follow this strategy, we would like to be, the bank and the financial group, plus with the digital enterprise spirit. Why we were aiming that? Because that the way we are banking now is different. So that investing for customer, for experience of customer, for technologies and platform, in order to serve some dozen million customer is the next 5 years is our target. And this is the way the bank make transformation process campaign to be success in the future and to be unique, because no bank, this is the biggest bank in Vietnam now, they have let's say 15 million customers over the countries and 3 to 5 branches to serve them. But MB can serve 44, can serve 20 million customers with around 3 to 400 branches in over the country, and with platform. Just see the next 5 years, and so that we can improve the revenue. At least we will get the revenue around 5 billion US dollars, and so that we are hoping to have profits will be around 2 to 2.5 billion. So that is why we want to share with you. So that the question here that this is the plan of the bank. How are you confident with the bank, with me and also the team here and the BOD and BOM of the bank? We say not too much, but we work so hard, right? so that we are hoping to have a good result in this year and the next 5 years. Thank you very much for your attention, and wish you happy and successful in this very difficult years. Thank you very much.
Once again, thank you very much for joining MBBank's analyst meeting for the second quarter 2021. Because of the time limit, we would like to end the Q&A session. For the rest of your questions, we will respond by email. If you have any other questions, please send to our email ir@mbbank.com.vn or call our hotline +84 24 62 66 1088. extension 3600. Thank you so much for your attention, and we will see you in the next meetings.